everybody, this is Josh Rubin from East West Healing and Performance. Today, we're going to be talking about just a quick diet. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it. A quick diet tip. I have people coming in my clinic, their arms could be hanging off, their legs could be falling off, they could have a disc pathology and they can't even walk. But their main goal is to lose weight, okay? So when we work with people, you got to really kind of tell them what they want to hear and give them what they need. You still got to design their nutrition program or their weight program around weight loss, but really design it around, what you give them is to correct their disc problem or their pain. So besides doing all the nutrition and lifestyle principles that we use, we do a lot of lab testing, but sometimes we also add in certain supplements that are easily digestible. You can't overdose on them because the body, within 1 to 4 hours, pretty much gets rid of them. We're big on doing labs and using supplements only when we do labs, so we know people need these supplements. We know people can actually break them down and they don't have kinks in their metabolic pathways, and so they're not overproducing bad ones. And for instance, if you have problems with methylation in the body, or problems with phase 2 detoxification in the liver, and other issues with your metabolic pathways, for instance, if you're taking SAMe, the so-called kind of another St. John's wort type of drug, you actually can't break it down. You actually overproduce homocysteine. So that's negative. You're taking something positive and you're going to create something negative. So you always do lab tests. But besides doing all the nutrition and lifestyle coaching that we do with people, one interesting amino acid that I want to talk about is L-Carnitine. We use a company called Thorne Research Group, and we have a account with them just because we're nationally licensed. I have a national license in occupational therapy, which interestingly allows me to order these nutraceutical grade supplements. So you probably won't be able to order them. I'm not doing this as a pitch. I don't make money. If you order them from me, I do, obviously. But you can go anywhere and buy L-Carnitine. You can go to the store. A good company that sells it is actually Jarrow, Jarroow. Okay? So I don't make money on it. Just pitching it, that's what we use. The interesting thing about L-Carnitine, it was actually discovered in Russia way back when, in like the 1920s. Okay? You have cells, you have mitochondria. These help your body to produce energy. That's how we essentially have energy. Okay, in the mitochondria, you need oxygen and certain nutrients to basically give you this energy. Well, our L-Carnitine helps shuttle these nutrients into the mitochondria so you have excess energy. So we use it with people for weight loss, but also energy production. Okay, if they're kind of fatigued. And we don't use it for a long period of time, but we'll use it to help with energy production, okay, ATP. At the same time, we use the L-Carnitine in high doses, but we split it throughout the day. We use anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day, and this depends on the person. And if you take too much, your body will pretty much process it 1 to 4 hours and get rid of it. But the only side effect I've really known is that when people take it and they've taken too much, for instance, if they take 3,000 milligrams, like 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 in the afternoon, and 1,000 at night, the only side effect is like diarrhea. They'll immediately get diarrhea. So you just decrease the dosage. You don't want to use it. I typically recommend people to do it for a month and then go off for a month or two and then go back on it. So I'm not a big, person with supplements staying on for a long period of time because the body essentially will adapt to it, in my opinion. L-Carnitine is actually broken down in the liver and kidneys by 2 other amino acids, lysine and methionine. Okay, so if you have a liver or kidney problem, you can see you're going to have a hard time synthesizing L-Carnitine. That's why we do labs. Okay. But the cool thing about L-Carnitine, the reason why we use it, is because it helps with fat burning. There's not a lot of clinical research or scientific research to prove this. I'm just going off of the work of Charles Poliquin in my clinical work, using it with people. To me, that's the best research out there, real-life research. Okay? So what happens is, this is kind of what happens. I'm going to actually read you something, because sometimes it can get a little technical, and I'd rather just read it to you. Okay? So what happens is, when you take in L-Carnitine, right, or you eat foods, for instance, energy or your stored carbohydrates and fats is required for muscles to work, okay? Carbohydrates are then converted to glucose and then to glycogen to be stored in the liver and muscle cells. Eventually, the body turns to fat storage for energy and possibly with more ease with the presence of L-Carnitine. And this is where the L-Carnitine enters the picture. During higher energy output and exercise, basically exercise, so using this with someone that's not exercising or moving, it's not going to help with weight loss, okay? And someone that's not eating properly, it's not going to help with weight loss. You need exercise, nutrition, and this to equal weight loss, okay? So once the person's exercising or during high energy output, the supply of L-Carnitine becomes exhausted. Okay? So what happens is the body actually, when you take the L-Carnitine, says, hey, I'm going to use certain sugar stores and fat stores for energy. But when you take the L-Carnitine, you actually, I don't want to say trick the body, but you actually make the body use the fat cells or the fat stores for energy, okay, instead of the sugar stores. You do use the sugar stores, of course, you have to, but it actually tends to favor the fat cells for fuel over the other stores, the glycogen stores. So it's pretty simple, okay? You're essentially taking the L-Carnitine, sorry about that. You're taking the L-Carnitine 3 times a day, you're exercising, you're eating the right foods, you're eating a higher protein and fat diet in relation to carbohydrates, you're not eating your conventional industrialized carbohydrates, you're drinking plenty of water, you've done some labs, you know you don't have kinks in your metabolic pathways. So you take the L-Carnitine and it actually helps the body shuttle energy into the mitochondria, so it gives you more energy, and at the same time it actually helps you use your fat cells for energy, right? Burning fat essentially, instead of using other stores predominantly. So it's a great addition to help assist with weight loss. It's not going to make you lose weight. It's not a magic pill that's going to make you lose weight, guaranteed. You got to be eating right, living right, thinking right, sleeping right, doing all the things I talk about in all my YouTube clips and on our website. But it's just a little added addition to use with people. I usually use it with my left brain people that need a supplement. They think it's going to help them, and they think the organic and all that's crap. So I add that supplement in the beginning of their program while we're doing the nutrition stuff and lifestyle stuff, and they get such great results in such a short amount of time. Okay, I actually myself, these are capsules. These capsules are essentially 330 milligrams, but I prefer there's a liquid that you can get, and it's 1,000 milligrams per cap, and that's what I prefer with people to use because I can get a higher dosage. Where 330 milligrams, you'd have to take a lot of caps to equal, 1 to 4,000 milligrams. Okay. So that's essentially what I do. It's just a quick diet tip to help you guys out there because we're always looking for a crutch. But at the same time, remember, you got to be eating right? You got to be moving right, drinking right, sleeping right, thinking right, doing all those things to assist, basically propel you towards weight loss. The L-Carnitine, can't do it on the screen, is actually going to help you. It's just an added extra. The body's going to actually use the fat cells to help you burn energy. Okay? So a little redundant, but just a little quick tip to help you lose weight for all those people out there. And keep in mind, once again, not everyone needs it. This is all person specific, right? You can't overdose on it. So if you want to experiment with it, experiment with it. But at the same time, if you really want to know if you need it, you can do specific labs. Like we use a lab called the Comprehensive Organic Profile from Metametrics. Okay, you can do it through us, or you can do it through Metametrics to learn more. All right. Feel free to visit our website at eastwesthealing.com. Feel free to, when you go to our website, sign up for our free newsletter. As well, visit our blog, Holistic Health blog at the top in the right-hand corner, as well as our resource pages, which has tons of articles, great links, and free audio programs. Going to the Anaheim hockey game tonight. Really excited about that. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.